So, Brittany, when is the podcast gonna be live? Because the people are ready.
Bam! What's going on, y'all? Welcome to the 7th episode of the Triple T Podcast. And I have to pause because even saying that we are on the 7th episode, that means we getting up there. We almost to episode 10. And my fellow Triple T team, maybe season 1 ends there. Will I go further? Will I stop there? Find out on the next episode. Not for real, but just the fact that we have been rocking for 7 weeks consecutively. Thank you guys so much for always tuning in and supporting the podcast. If you are already not following the page, stop. Follow the Triple T Podcast right here at the Triple T Podcast on Instagram and on Facebook. If you did not know, the Triple T Podcast finally has an official Facebook, so make sure you find it and give it a thumbs up on Facebook. All right, same thing with YouTube. Like, comment, subscribe, but also make sure that you hit that notification bell so you can be alerted anytime that I drop and upload. And I always have to tell you, if you are a real true supporter of the Triple T Podcast, do not be afraid to support. If you go to anchor.fm/the Triple T Podcast, you will actually see a little button with a $sign that says support. So you can financially support the Triple T Podcast at any time. All right, y'all. So before we get into the nitty-gritty of episode 7, let's just do a small little recap about episode 6. Got that act right? Psh, yeah, right. Now, I thought I was going to hurt a lot of ladies' feelings, but I guess that we have all already went down that long road and we've learned those hard lessons. So, very good. Very proud of you. There is one particular tap-in that made me chuckle when I posted something on the Triple T Podcast on Instagram. She actually agreed, saying that nobody has that act right, which is true. Somebody has to act right to you because they want you. It's nothing that you can do for them consistently to make them want to consistently act right to you unless it's already within them. You can't convince them with anything else. And if you have to, do you really want somebody like that? Exactly. But anyway, Lanisha, aka Stubborn Niche on Instagram, she tapped in and said, don't nobody got that act right, not even her good sis Beyonce. So I must say, it can happen to anybody. And that's what I'm talking about. Even, some people's like, oh my God, Beyonce, it happened to Beyonce. Oh my God, yeah, Beyonce is a woman just like all of us. Yeah, so it can happen to any of us, all right? Never get too comfortable, and never get too comfortable in the fact that thinking that partners can't switch up. They can. All right, so I know you've seen the title of this episode. Oh, by the way, I do have my $1.25 glass tree. Still got Santa on it. Today we are sipping on Malibu. We keeping it light. I have a lighter week this week. Last week was so heavy, but so we're going to keep it light with some Malibu. But you've seen the title of this episode, and it's called You versus Them. Now, if you tapped into episode 6, we brought in a new character into the mix for story time now, and his name was Deuce. Well, I have a surprise for you. We got a part 2 to that story. So the saga of Deuce is not over yet, and we call this You versus Them. And remember, this is on Tea Bree and Breathe, which is my college blog. If you are a new tuner in. If you are just tapping into the Triple T Podcast, a lot of these story times do come from my actual blog that documents 100% true dating experiences that I have documented. That way I can share it with other women and men, all right? So if you are interested in reading that blog for yourself during your downtime, this Malibu, Jesus, I didn't even pregame this time. If you want to read it during your downtime, you can just visit Tea, like you're sipping tea, Bree with 2 E's, and Breathe, like that, .wordpress.com in your downtime if you feel like being entertained with some things that really, really happen. And of course, I always change the names because ain't nobody finna get no free fame off of me. Can I get a All right, y'all. Let's get straight into it. You versus them. All right, so last week I opened up and I talked about a very vulnerable chapter into my life when I discussed the relationship or the lack thereof of Deuce and I. And this was, I think you would say it's a grade A example of what a situationship is, right? But if you remember clearly, I did mention that there was something that Q and Deuce had in common. Can you guess what it is? And no, it isn't marriage. Dun, 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 dun. A kid. And I won't say that Deuce being a father caused us to split up completely, but I have to admit that it played a major role into why we never really progressed. As if, duh. For all my ladies out there who have encountered this problem like me, always meeting men with babies, remember, this was written in 2015, all right? This is not present day. It's something very common these days. Most women can swallow it up and deal with it with no problem. And then you have some women where it will make them hoot and holler and almost lose their doggone mind and sanity because of the baby mama drama. Duh. And let me not be biased, fellas. It can be hard for y'all too. Baby daddy drama isn't the business either. Gather round, Triple T team. Miss T has another story to tell. You versus them. Damn. Why did this Negro have to have a baby? Those were my exact thoughts right when I met Deuce and when he revealed that part of his life to me. Now, you already know that this is not my first encounter with men and children. I mean, my very own high school sweetheart had a baby on me and I ain't even know it. And I didn't stand for it either. You would think more time has passed, more maturity would show into these men. Absolutely not. Heck no, 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 and no. Some of you may think to yourself, well, why do you entertain guys with kids anyway? Honestly, I have gotten that question a lot, and quite frankly, I date people because I see potential in them. Foolish. Potential. That's a whole episode in itself about damn potential. I said, I won't penalize every single guy for having a child young or whatever age they may be. That's my business. And that is my preference. Child, who I thought I was? Talking about that's my business. See, that's what I'm talking about. I mentioned this in episode 6. We think we just have all these tools and the skill set equipped to just be that girl, be that woman, be the one that, he's just going to treat like a queen and you ain't got to do nothing because he going to do everything for you. Wake up. I wish this is what I could tell my younger college self, but we always think we know every damn thing. For things not to work out with me and that person, it would have to be deeper than just the issue that he has with the child. But different strokes for different folks. You damn right, because that ain't my stroke. Everything was working out fine with Deuce and I until I got a call from him one day. It was actually a couple of days before his birthday. Surprisingly, it was about baby mama drama. And he wanted to discuss it with me. Interesting. I sharply inhaled as I asked him what was going on. I am so mad right now, yo. So I'm trying to go back to my hometown, spend some time with my family. And she threatened me talking about, oh, if you leave for the weekend, I'm going to tell everybody that you ain't been doing shit for this baby. And you not going to see my baby either. Bruh, all I want to do is go home and she's spazzing. She tends to forget who went grocery shopping and put food in her house. Who went with her to all the doctor's appointments, going to birthday classes and shit. And who did her damn homework when she was too sick to do it her damn self. My eyes widened in disbelief, and before I could say anything and something out of character, I bit my tongue profusely while he continued to express his anger. If she's spazzing about him going back to his hometown, then she gonna set it off when she hear about me. Women, why do we feel like that's cute? That little, is that like an adrenaline rush? Oh yeah, well she gonna have to, what's she gonna say when she find out about me? Why do we put ourselves in situations where we have to do surprise introductions like that? Quote unquote, I'm surprised. That shit ain't fun. Y'all could have that shit. Continued thoughts ran through my head. She sounds crazy as hell. I mean, who gets mad that the father of their child is going back home to be with their family? I wonder if they are still messing around. Maybe his man part has her talking greasy like that. Well, duh. Bree, you there? He asked loudly. Yeah, Deuce, I'm with you. I scratched my head and paced my bedroom floor. Look, you know what you have done for your kid, and no one can take that away from you, not even her, and how mad she is. Keep doing what you have to do and don't let these threats fool you or make you pop off. She will use it against you. Okay? I would say that's sound advice. I still don't think it should have been coming from me, because I ain't had no business messing with that nigga, but let's read. My calm tone seemed to cool him off, and I often found myself staring in the mirror because I just could not believe he called me about something like this. Not saying he couldn't call me, but shoot, not about no damn baby mama drama. But regardless, that was my dude, so I did my job. And listen, that wasn't the last time we had a conversation about her. And we'll keep her name just like that, as her. Because then she started to step her game up. She continued to post pictures of them on her social networks. Now pause. How would I know that? You already know every woman has done it. Insta stalk, Facebook stalk, Twitter stalk, and whatever apps might have been hot back then. I don't know if Snapchat was around, Snapchat stalk, whatever. The fact that I know that she's posting him, that says something about me. Ding, 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 ding. Accountability, though. So she's posted pictures of them on her socials, portraying that they were still together and that they were the perfect family. Classic baby mama drama shit, right? I nearly split my wig, and that's actually what our argument, the first argument between Deuce and I, was about. It was about the baby mama. But after the steam cooled off from that very heated argument, she didn't post not nan photo of him or them again, even to this day, that day being 2015. But she didn't stop there. Nights he would be with her to co-parent their child, mysteriously, I would get calls, and when I would pick up, there would be no answer. Oh, I wonder if she got Metro PCS and she just ain't got no damn reception. Childish. But to top it off, not only was she calling me and hanging up when I picked up, she decided to block me from his phone for a whole weekend. Now at this time, I'm thinking, damn, that's next level. I ain't never have to do that with none of my men. Men. I thought the whole time that Deuce was ignoring the hell out of my texts until I called and realized, God damn, I've been blocked. So I'm thinking, what you blocked me for? Deuce and I were on great terms at this time, so us talking every day was the usual. And when I didn't hear nothing from him, and shoot, I couldn't say anything back, I knew who the culprit had to be. He ended up calling me off his homie's phone because he thought I was igging him. The conversation that started off mysteriously turned really funny when he looked through his phone to discover that my contact was blocked. So you letting her go through your phone now? I quizzed him. You know better than that. I don't have a lock on my phone. Typical, I said, rolling my eyes. I'm over there spending time with my child, and you know I'm not on my phone when I'm with my kid. Well, she knows all about me now. She had to go through the text messages. How else would she know to block me? Man, I'm going to call you back. Click. I guess he called himself taking care of business that night. I was wondering if this was really God testing my patience. And then that, you see how we get to that point. We we know that's a mousetrap, right? That is a mousetrap, and we all know what happens when you play with mousetraps. But we know that's a mousetrap, but we think we can somehow change the matter of that mousetrap into what we want it to be. And then we are surprised that when we touch the mousetrap, it snaps the fuck out of you. Take the damn mousetrap for what it is. You ain't no damn magician, and you ain't on the magic school bus. Anyway. So once we get to that point, it's like, God, why? Why is this happening to me? Why? And I know big man upstairs just be looking down like, these pathetic children of mine. How many times must I show you? How many times does this situation have to hurt you for you to understand and for you to grasp what it is that I want you to learn? You're at that, because at that point, you're making it your experience. That wasn't the intent. Big man tried to give you the lesson the first time. Oh, y'all want to hear about that? Oh, yeah, that's accountability knocking at your door. Well, through your headphones. Let's move on. So at this point, I'm questioning big man upstairs, and you know that ain't him. I'm testing him. He's testing my patience. What are you doing? Giving me someone who was a great guy, but he just had baggage. Or was this a way of God saying that my future husband will have kids? And maybe he's trying to equip me for the tomfoolery early on. I don't know. I don't even know why I would come to that conclusion. Oh yeah, you know, God just making me go through this because the man that he gonna send for me got a whole bunch of kids, and he wants me to just be prepared and have all the armor to fight all these baby mamas all the time for the rest of my life until our kids turn 18. Not I, said the cat. Nevertheless, the situation that grinded my gears the most was when I ran into him at the grocery store. This is a 100% true story. Ran into him at the grocery store with the baby. Because I knew she couldn't be too far behind. At the grocery store. Fresh baby, newborn. This is me. This is still my fault. Why am I even in this triangle? And then later on, the triangle turned into a rectangle turned into a pentagon, hexagon. But I'm still in this. Why? So I'm perplexed because I see him. I see the baby, so I know baby mama ain't too far behind. With the kind of dude this man was, she had his ass on a leash. Them going to the store together wasn't anything new to me. He was the breadwinner, and he made sure he provided for his child. Breadwinner. Now, I said that to, remember how I say nobody gonna get some free vein off of me? That part isn't exactly true. Maybe I will reveal what the occupation was. But anyway. But I never planned on seeing it in action. He was by the deli in Publix. Where shopping is supposed to be. Oh, motherfucking pleasure. Goddamn Publix. He was by the deli in Publix grabbing some lemonade, 5 lemonade, when I looked off my phone and I seen him. Hey, he said extremely loud in the store. I was a bit startled. Hey, honey. His child began to coo in the stroller that he was pushing. I tried my hardest not to make eye contact with the baby. Quite frankly, I didn't want anything to do with the child as of yet. So I didn't want the baby looking at me either. Now, I don't know if that might be a little ignorant, but I think I understand what I meant by that. Well, I know I understand what I meant by that, but hopefully y'all understand what I meant by that, meaning that early on, I don't want any type of attachment or connection to this child because I ain't with you and you not my man yet. But here I am being the dumbo and assuming these responsibilities and having these feelings as if that was the situation. I can't blame nobody for this situation but me. And the fact that this is a part 2 means that I just had to keep digging like a little dog in the backyard. Just keep digging. What the fuck was I trying to find? This is what I mean by sometimes you want to go back to your younger stuff. Just Because if I ain't do that shit, maybe a lot of shit that happened after that, life really happens then. I'm living in that life now, being damn 28. Off topic, I saw this TikTok. Now, I have my feelings about people crying on camera and posting it, but it's what she said. She was like, life is kicking my ass. Why they didn't tell us adulting was this hard? And I feel her on that. So I thought that I was going through shit then. Ooh. Let's get back to the story, child. All right. So at that point, I didn't want nothing to do with the child. What you in here getting? He asked. Just some juice and some snacks. Heading to a little shindig, I said, looking around. I was a bit annoyed because I knew somewhere in them motherfucking store, baby mama's in here. So I got to be ready for attack in case she decide to pounce. Remember in an episode, was it episode 2? I don't remember. I'll have to go back. But in episode 2, I did make a reference about things in the jungle, the different lions. You got the leopards and the... So you feel me? At this point, I got to treat this shit. I'm on go mode. You feel me? Because I just came to the store. Like I said, I just came to the store where shopping was supposed to be a pleasure. And I'm in this shit at the deli where they making the public subs and have that fire-ass lemonade and them good-ass chicken wings. And here I am. About to be some damn Jerry Springer shit. So I'm ready. I'm keen. I'm like a dog. Them ears is perked up. He instantly read my vibe. And one thing about me, please take things at face value. Sometimes, listen, I suffer from resting bitch face, but chef on camera, off camera. I suffer from resting bitch face, but for the most part, when it comes to my emotions, I do wear them more than just on my sleeve. I got on the whole outfit, so at this point, he already knew, like, she looking for this girl. She ain't lying. I scoffed. Oh yeah, my spidey senses was tingling all up and down this place. He shook his head. I ain't hear from you all day. You alright? Yeah, I was at work all day and it was busy as hell. We could talk about it tonight though, I said, rubbing his cheek. So now I feel bad. I'm bad. Listen, I just feel like I'm hot shit now. So before, it was just like, all right. Oh, she ain't around. She in line. Okay, so what's up? We gonna talk about it tonight? Again, reading this, baby girl, Miss Bree, as you called yourself, T. Bree and Breathe, baby girl. Here is the L. Future me is here to give you that L. Sometimes we cause our own pain and suffering. You ain't want to hear that either, huh? Accountability. Anyway. Alright, sounds good, cutie. He rubbed my cheek back. Well, let me run. I rolled my eyes and fake smiled. Yeah, go handle that. I proceeded to walk to the 10 items or less line. And trust me, I'm trying to always get in that line. It don't matter if I got 9 items or 11. But I'm not one of those people. If I got 20, unless it's 20 items or less, I'll go into 20. But I try to obey the law and obey the rules. I proceeded to walk to the 10 items or less line while he went over to the checkout line, 3 lines behind me. Okay, is we about to play the line game? Like, oh, well, let somebody get in front of us. That way, by the time she done with her transaction, I could go ahead and run up. I'm thinking of any and every situation or scenario at this point. Because I knew I was the target. I proceeded to check out my items and I could feel a hole being burnt in the back of my head. Something serious. But I ain't look back just yet, though. See, I could be trifling and blow a kiss at him on the way out. Tell him he was looking gooder than a mofo. But I wasn't going to make her mad just yet. I was not going to make her my business yet. So let's pause real quick. I think I'm trying to make sense here. Back with the whole she shouldn't be my business, her child shouldn't be my business. But really, I still dropped the ball because none of this should be my business. But yet, here I was being grown and what? Making it my business. Accountability. When I took my receipt from the cashier, I turned back to find her staring directly, and I stopped in my tracks to step back. So now it's a face-off. Wow, 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 wow. Woo! Wow, 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 wow. Nigga, let's go get him. Like, what you want to do? He looked at me with a very disapproving stare, like, if you're in the principal's office, I'm very disappointed in you. And then I glanced back at her. I nodded my head one good time, just like, sorry, audio listeners, make sure you go on YouTube and see what kind of head nod I just did, but you should know by the context clues. But anyway, I did and walked out the exit of the store. I wasn't gonna make her my business just yet. I just think this is so cute. Until I needed to make her my business, until it would be proven that Deuce and I were going to be in a committed and serious relationship. She was not my business, and neither was their child. Who knows? Maybe they rekindled, and that's why Deuce has vanished from the chapters of my life. Good riddance. And then there was this cat. We'll call this cat Montana. Montana and I started off as friends, but for the first time, someone saw me outside of the homegirl role. And that's sarcasm. In a few episodes, I mentioned that. Usually, I was always the girl to get friends on because I was too much of the homie. I was hesitant to get anything hot and started with Montana because he too. You need a vowel. You want to buy a vowel? Guess what? Just take a wild guess. Montana had a baby too. So you would think, well, damn, man, like, you is not doing a good job. Not doing a good job. Like, I be on TikTok too much, but bitch, you was not doing a good job. Like, shut up. Chef off camera talking about some But anyway, yeah, so baby girl, here's that L again. Like, you ain't learned, because that could have been worse. You ain't learned? All right, clearly I didn't. And here I am asking myself again, because remember, we get to that point. Oh, God, why? Man, why do I keep attracting men with kids? I never had to deal with his baby mama because, quite frankly, I didn't let things get too deep with Mr. Montana. But that doesn't mean I was skeptical of what he was doing with her and why the heck he needed to talk to me while doing it. But when the evidence of Montana and the mother of his child taking trips and shit surfaced on the socials, of course, them enjoying the weather of the cities they encountered and eating very much so lavish foods, the phone was already hung up before I could get my hands and acrylic nails on it. Baby, it was a wrap. Ladies and gents, it isn't easy to meet someone who's really about it. And I would say present day 2022 for my singles, I think they would agree with that statement. Even before me and Chef got into a relationship. It's real ghetto. It was real ghetto out there. Thank God. Along with that, it is easy to find ladies and men with kids these days. It's the norm, clearly. And it's nothing that will really go away, which is true. There are some people who strictly stray away from people with children, and that is their preference. Check this out. This is very cute what I wrote. I've stated mine. I won't punish a man for reproducing and then wanting to date me. What I do have an issue with is the balance of it all. If this man makes the cut to be my man, can he actively be a father too? To think, why is that even a question? Why is that even a question? The whole thing is, when you get to a certain age group, and once upon a time, people thought, oh, if you date somebody older in your 30s and 40s, more than likely they may have kids. Sometimes somebody in your 20s, same age as you, could have kids or more than what is considered normal for why they have so many kids. But plot twist, you may date somebody in an older age bracket and they have no kids. You have both out there. I think it just depends on preference and what you're willing to put up with. What kind of situation are you in? Are you with someone that has that baby mama, baby daddy drama, and you see that at face value and you still decide to dive in, baby, that's on you. You wasn't Ray Charles and the shit. Like, that was on you. I do believe that there are people that have had children with other people can get into relationships and date someone else, whether they have children or not. It really depends on the character of that person and the situation between that person and the person that they had children with. If it's toxic, if it's chaotic, honestly, I don't know. Can I tell somebody to stay away? You should. I should have. I gave you 3 examples so far here at the Triple T Podcast, but that's just me. It's a lot of factors that you have to consider when it comes to dating with children. It is. It's a good man. Do he take care of his kids? He ain't got no baby mama drama. What's the problem? What's the problem? He got time for his kids. He make time for you. And then eventually, that's fused together. If it's the right one. And if it's the right time. Now that I'm an advocate for. And I see that all the time. Perfect example. Shout out to my future father-in-law, Mr. Tony. I love it. I love it. That's the perfect example. Found love. You said no? So Chef makes a good point. That's different because obviously him and his siblings are older. And Miss Dee Dee. Shout out Miss Dee Dee. Celestial Delights. Hit my dog up for the CB. Anyway. And her kids are also grown too. So that is a very good point. If the kids are grown, it's probably easier. But then it depends on like how old the person is. Because then the kid could feel like you're dating someone my age. But whatever, that's another external factor. But when the kids are young and you know he's still dibbling and dabbling in the golden pot, you know. If you up for the fight, if you always want to be pouncing in the grocery store like I did and I have to turn around and make sure ain't no shit finna go down with somebody I shouldn't be messing with, you would think it's a no-brainer, right? But hey, sometimes life has to show us. Life has to show us. All right. Listen, Deuce could never officially be my man because the balance was just not there. He did not know how to be a father to his child and be a man to me. Why would I even say that shit? He didn't want to be no man to me. He ain't want to be no man to me. This is not new to me. See? Mousetrap. I'm trying to form that mousetrap into a magical lagoon. And when I put my hand in the magical lagoon, I have a new full set. It's a fucking mousetrap. It's a fucking mousetrap. Listen, ladies, you don't have to deal with inconsistency just because someone has a child. That's another thing. Communication is key. Communication is definitely key when it comes to that. In the beginning, Deuce tried his best, which was great. It was a great try, quote unquote, to be present in my life and, of course, more present in his child's life because that's number one. If you're dating somebody that's always with you and they never with your child, that's not cute. You don't think he gonna do the same thing to you? You ain't want to hear that either. Got it. That is what I want from him. And if putting me on the back burner is going to help him be the best father that he can be, then baby, set me free. Now, I will edit that. At the beginning, I should have set myself free. But if that was the situation where he was like, I don't know how to do both because that conversation did not happen, then yeah, how is it not a no-brainer? Dating, children. This has to come first. This can be secondary. It's okay. This doesn't have to be number one in your life all the time. Your life should not be surrounded about dating. There's more to life than dating. Newsflash. Same thing goes for the women that feel like they got to be married by 30. There's more to life than being married at 30. You want to be married and miserable? Or ride out a few years, meet the love of your life, and y'all ride into the fucking sunset. You choose. Montana is just a prime example of what goes on every day, though. No, I don't fuck with my baby mama. Man, I can't stand her. Nah, it don't even matter. She messing with another nigga right now. You feel me? She ain't on me. She ain't on my job. And the lie detector determined that was a lie. Follow your intuition. I can't tell you if you should date a man with kids or not. because there is so much more you need to look at before determining if he even makes the cut to being your man or woman, because this can go both ways. Kids can make y'all or break y'all, literally. And I mean, how often do we see that, especially children who have come from broken homes? You already know. There are no success stories here, but I see plenty. There are men out there who can actively date you and be the best dad in the world with no excuses, and I gave you a great example before. He has to just have the motivation to do the two, okay? Or maybe everything is aligned in his life and he can now introduce something like that. There's nothing wrong with that either, y'all. We be trying to rush life. Sometimes we gotta just stay the course. And I'm telling that to myself. Because, baby, sometimes I feel like if I don't have control, I just feel like my life is in disarray. Sometimes I just need to tell myself, Brittany, shut the fuck up. Let life take its course. Take it one day at a time. Seize today, because today is what you can control. You'll be surprised how many times I got to tell myself that a day. But I got to keep going. It's more to life than how you may be feeling right now, or what your dating situation may be right now. It's more to life than that itself. That's minor. Damn, I don't know if y'all can hear the sirens in the background. Wee woo, goddamn. And y'all, that is the end of you versus them. I hope that you have heard a lot of, I won't say hidden gems because everything is bow in your face. But hopefully a lot of that you can wrap up and take home with you. Anybody that listens to this episode and has been one of those baby mamas, or has been one of those baby daddies, or has been on the other end of it, or you have successfully found a partner that did have children and you had no issues, make sure you tap in and comment. I would love to chat and see what everybody's different experiences is when it does come to children. What is your take on that, especially to my single listeners? At this point in your life, let's say you're my age, 28. Are you one of those people that feel like, okay, well, I have to fall into society's pressure because I'm supposed to be married at least by 30, so I'm just going to settle with whoever and just reproduce with whoever because I have to meet the standard? If that's you, you holla at me too. Accountability. Come on. A lot of things that we can control. All right. So last week we did go into a few new shows or current shows that's new to me or that I'm watching for the first time, because a lot of good shows, I don't know. According to Chef, I live under a rock, so he has exposed me to a lot of good shows. But there are two shows that I want to talk about before we get out of here. Number one, listen, if you have not watched Ghost yet, just fast forward for the next few minutes. I don't want this to be a spoiler alert for you, so spoiler alert, spoiler alert. Pew, pew, pew. I don't know if there's anything on the screen. But, yo, here we go. You see, I don't feel bad for Monet. It's fucked up that Lorenzo had to be the person to take Zeke out, dog. And I feel for Zeke, rest in peace to my dog. It just, but I like how accurate the portrayal is when it comes to living in that world and being in that game, because even though he was, I guess the family tried so hard to make sure he wasn't a part of that life and just make sure that he becomes somebody better than who they were and what they was doing. It's always that person that ends up somehow coming to a demise. I thought that was very interesting. I like how they closed that out. But like I said, I was definitely shocked. And at this point, Michael Rainey Jr., a.k.a. Tariq, like, that nigga is doing his shit, bruh. He is doing his shit. He may be annoying as fuck. I'm not gonna lie. A couple of seasons in Power, I just found Tariq so fucking annoying because he thought he knew everything and he was still fucking up. But now I look at this little man now and it's just like, this man is literally the epitome of the Teflon Don. If you know who the real Teflon Don is, that is John Gotti. Like, nothing sticks to this man. And like most viewers, we probably thought, God damn it, it's over. He gonna get framed for this shit, just like what Ghost went through with Cooper and Jenny. First of all, rest in peace to Lauren too, but let me ask Chef off camera, do you feel like Lauren would have snitched? Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
She had to go.
She had to go. Yeah. I'm not sad.
Not sad.
Not at all.
Nah. But what you think about Effie? It's the fact that Effie is all in Tariq's face now. She probably feeling like, yeah. But you see, she had a vulnerable side. She was in that whole crying, in her bed crying.
Hey, once you catch a body, you gonna that shit changes. So I've heard. So it's,
Oh, you you hear that? So you've heard.
so I've heard. So I've heard.
Yeah, no, I can imagine that. You morph into a person you didn't know that you could be, or as most people say, the person that was always inside of them, whatever. I think that was a good wrap up. Of course, in the moment you don't want to see that the last scene is basically Mary J. Blige. I call her Mary J. Blige and Monet Child, but Mary J. Blige with these big ass hoop earrings, got her ears stretched out. Like, why y'all let that happen? Got that lady ears stretched out. The big ass hoops. You don't know what I'm talking about? Make sure you go back in the episode. It was a scene towards the end where she actually met up with Kane when they was plotting to kill Lorenzo, which is crazy. The fact that Kane was going to wipe out his own dad just so he could match up to Tariq, bruh. That's crazy. And Tariq is a kid. What's up?
Kane's a typical hood nigga.
Uh-huh.
He is. He don't see the big picture. If anything, Tariq is more like his dad. He understands that there's always a bigger play.
Mm-hmm.
Kane just, like I said, the typical street dude. He only sees what's in front of him. He never looks to see the side, the rear view, what's checking him. He do shit that puts himself at risk later on 5 days later.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
Yeah, I'm gonna plant this shit in Tariq's room right now.
Sloppy.
but Not knowing that this could indicate me into a crime as well. So he doesn't see the big picture. So yeah.
But it's crazy that he was actually going to man up.
He want his mother's support. Like somebody else I know.
And the fact that she had the nerve to say, "We good, Kane?" "Yeah, we good, Mom." No, fuck you, Mom. Like, how many situations has Monet put that family in, bruh, to fuck them over and over? And don't get me started on Dante Spears. That whole shit, that was a whole... Courtney Kemp, right power? Listen, Courtney, I like how you spin that. You even brought it all the way back to Lobos. That's what, season 3? Season 2, season 3? Lobos? What, season 1 when he got killed?
No.
That's what I'm saying.
Lobos was always in
I know Lobos was always there, but we ain't heard Lobos in a long time because, you know what I
I
mean?
think it was probably like season 3.
Something like that, very early on. It so throwback. It still reminds me how crazy it was how Sandoval got caught up. That whole shit, remember that? Bruh. That's talented fucking writing. To tie that up, y'all, if you have not watched Power, it is worth it. Now, I know last episode I said that I have trouble, for example, with Ozark. Somebody wanted to watch season 4, but I was moving a little too slow. So with Power, take your time because it is a lot of episodes, but I would say that is worth the time. It's less time than watching, what's the other show that everybody like? Grey's Anatomy? I don't watch that. And now that's a show I'm not interested in catching up in. Go ahead. They on what, season 15? 23? 35? I'm good. Shonda, you got that. Not interested. Well, make sure you watch Power. Watch what's the other one? Raising Kanan. That was good too. And watch Power Books 1 and 2, man. Is the Tommy one out yet?
Yes.
It is? Well, what we doing tonight? What we doing? So we probably gonna catch up on that so we could talk about it next week. Let me know in the comments if you have actually tapped into Power Book, if you are a fan of Power, how you think season 3 is going to be for Ghost, and if you have tapped in and actually watched the one with Tommy. I don't know the one. See, that's so black of me. Yeah, just watch the one with Tommy. What's the name of it? I know it ain't Tommy.
I think it's Force.
Force?
I don't
Whatever it is. All right. And the last show that I want to talk about, I know that I'm going to mess up this title. The woman across the street looking at the girl in the window.
Yeah,
Did I get it?
I think you did.
I don't know.
I'm not 100% sure.
Y'all, I'm gonna Google it real time right now. What is it? A late shit. What I said? A woman. Let's see if it come up. That's not trending on Google. Does shit trend on Google? No. I fell asleep on that bitch. Same thing with Harlem, y'all. I know we talked. What in the lady with the house?
Yeah.
Hold on. But y'all, real quick, I know we was talking about Harlem last week, y'all. I fell asleep on that shit, and like Chef So Green, he ain't let me know what the fuck happened with Harlem. So I'm gonna put that on my to-do list to finish Harlem, so we could talk about that next week too. Okay, so a woman across the street? No. What was it? Help me.
I don't.
And you the one off camera. You could be.
I don't think it's my responsibility.
Oh, here you go.
To catch you up, though. That's not my responsibility. I think it's yours. You the one who fell
First of all, I was wrong, so we're both wrong. L. The woman in the house across the street from the girl in the window. Shout out to Brie Janae on Instagram. I remember when she first posted about this on her story, and she was like, this title is confusing as fuck. And at first glance, I was like, man, what the fuck? Who the fuck created this shit? I'm looking at it. The woman in the house. Okay, so let's pretend I'm the woman in the house. The woman in the house across the street. So across, I ain't gonna turn my back, across from the little girl in the window. Okay. Makes sense, right? Just got to break it down. Listen, I had to ask Chef, what genre is this? I'm thinking it's just normal show. Of course, there's going to be a plot and things are going to, climax, but... And then it's very confusing. For example, that sex scene. Was that real? I think that was in the first episode or the second? I think it was in the second episode. Spoiler alert, I don't know if you guys want to get into this. It's on Netflix, so everything's already there. But anyway, the guy across the street, who's the dad of the little girl, child, they fucking in the lady house. So I'm like, well, when did this happen? And then this poor lady, she's such a drunk. She fall asleep on the couch. She had a full glass of wine. Probably 7, 8 o'clock in the morning. She's not on vacation. I know what y'all saying. We finna drink mimosas. We gonna drink mimosas 6 o'clock in the morning. No, this was not a situation like that. And then you find out that something happened to the little girl. 9 years old. Remember they showed the tombstone? Somebody named Elizabeth. That was her daughter. Right. So we don't know what happened with that yet. You do? Oh, you hear this smoke? All right. Bet. So obviously I have homework to do, but I definitely wanted to introduce to you guys those two shoes. This Malibu. Those two shows that I've been tapping into this week. I'm going to add Harlem onto it too, but I'm going to catch up with, God damn, a woman in the house. The woman in the house across the street from the girl in the window. They say it has 1 season. Okay, well, obviously. How many episodes it got? 8. Okay, that's doable. Listen, anybody watch You? I know it's too early for the new season to come out. I don't know, maybe they still taping it, but I don't know. It gave me a kind of You vibe when you look at the cover. When you look at the title cover, she's in a glass. She's looking through a window with a glass of, what is it with the wine? And one more thing about it, damn it. Her in this little goddamn ceramic rice pot. What's up with that? Her falling and fainting in the rain. Bitch is scared of rain. I'll see why. Yeah, I will see why. You hear this? And it's on tape, my G. Remember that, bruh. Remember that. So when I find a good series on YouTube, or if I find a good battle rap, it's not my responsibility.
You can't tell me nothing about battle rap.
Oh, that's a whole episode in itself. We'll have Chef on camera for that one, for the battle rappers. I do have a few followers that also listen to battle rap like us. So real quick, what's going on in the battle rap community? We talking about Mike P. We talking about Mike P. We talking about Geechee Gotti. Shout out to Geechee Gotti. He got the best what you call that? Is it ad-libs? Yeah.
Nigga, yeah.
Be around the house, nigga, yeah. Yeah, when I'm talking my shit, he gonna listen. Nigga, yeah. Like that. What's the other one? Nigga, you's a bitch. Yeah, so with battle rap, you have to be okay with a lot of cursing. So, those are two of his famous taglines. But I like Geechee Gotti. He's definitely a spitter. But Mike P. You can have it. That was a L for everybody listening, and not watching on YouTube. But like I said, always make it your business. Go on to the YouTube. YouTube.com/the Triple T Podcast. But I was handing him an L. So anyway, I don't know if y'all was drinking anything this episode. I got a swallow left, a corner left. What y'all call this? What you call this? A corner? A gallop? A swallow? A swallow left, right? Just a little corner left. Just a little. Well, my people at UCF used to say, chug, chug, chug. Go ahead. What happened? I'm just saying. It just brought me back. When you at a bar, come on. Do you see that happening at our bars? Talking about some chug, chug, chug?
When the last time we went to a bar?
When the last time you been to a bar?
I don't do stuff like that.
I don't do stuff like that. He's just so innocent. But you got a girl like me. All right. Come on, say chug, chug. Ooh, oh my God. Oh my God, guys, you sure? Are you sure? I'm gonna chug it. Yeah.
Chug, chug, chug.
There it is. Stupid, man. Malibu not even that strong, y'all. Very fruity, very, very much sweet. And that's a wrap, y'all. Thank y'all so much for tuning in to episode 7, You versus Them of the Triple T Podcast. Make sure that you are following all 3 of these pages right now. First page, make sure that you follow the Triple T Podcast right here on Instagram, and I will insert. Make sure that you follow the new official Triple T Podcast page on Facebook, facebook.com/the Triple T Podcast. Make sure that you following your girl, my personal blog on Instagram at the Teflon Diva. And of course, if you would like to get into yoga and meditation, follow my business page at Soulflow Yo. For sure, if you would like to support the Triple T Podcast financially, make sure that you tap in at anchor.fm/the Triple T Podcast. Look for that little button that has a $sign and says support. Your support always matters, y'all. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. Like I said, I am so happy we have done this 7 weeks consecutively, and the podcast and our community continues to grow. My Triple T team, my Triple T trappers, I love y'all so much. Can't wait for this episode to come out. Let's talk about it. Got a lot more Triple T topics that's going to be posted on the page, on Instagram, and on Facebook. So once again, make sure that you follow so you never have to tap in late. Stay the course. Stay with us. All right? Till next time. Peace.